right. Settle down, baby. Settle down. It's that time of year. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to the one and only Tuss Talk with Ty. Live show. As you can see on this side of the screen, we have our topics for today. I'm gonna start doing that. We're just gonna slap the topics up somewhere on the screen. I need to make a habit of doing that. So there's our topics. Look at that. You already know what I'm gonna talk about. Isn't that wonderful? Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're old here and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? I told you we're gonna mix in the baseball. I still don't know. I'm gonna have to play how we do baseball. I'm gonna have to play it by ear. I kind of want to do a post-game show tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm so amped up. But at the same time, it's really nice to just watch a game and not have to worry about doing post-game. It's very nice, and I can listen to the game. I could play some Helldivers 2 on the PS5. I can just kind of relax. I might. And then we'll kind of go from there. If you remember, this is how post-game shows started. I just started dabbling a little bit, you know. Oftentimes the problem, though, with baseball is my group of people who watch me, you guys that watch me, you didn't come here for baseball in the beginning. You came here for football. And then basketball, of course, was also a part of what I did here. And then a little bit of baseball. So didn't really grow a baseball crowd here because it's just not on YouTube. It's not something people look for. It's just not. If I were on other platforms, absolutely, I'd be all in on baseball. And I don't know. You guys keep telling me, Ty, you need to get on Spotify. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'm so wrapped up in my. Listen. I turned 40. Okay, in 23. I'm getting kind of stuck in my ways. I'm just kidding. I have plans. Every year I do some new stuff, and I add some new stuff to the show every year. Logo changes, hats, stickers, Patreon, right? Okay. Let's get into it. Again, welcome. Make sure you guys please like and share. If you're not a Patreon supporter, at least do that much for me. It doesn't have to be on social media necessarily. It could just be, to your boys. To a group chat you're in. Hey, this guy's talking a little bit of baseball. We need to listen to someone. Why not give Ty Hudson a shot? But if you do want to join Patreon, right there it is. There's the link. Yeah, so we do have recruiting updates. We do have pull up some other stuff here. We have basketball is this bad. We're going to get into that for just a minute. I know we're kind of done with basketball. I mean, I'm still going to do the post-game shows. That's still going to be a thing. I'm still going to talk a little basketball. And it just might not be something you want to hear necessarily. Hogs win what? Somebody had something to say today on Twitter. Pretty big name. And then last but not least, baseball is here. It is upon us. So, yeah. All right. Shout out to our sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, located or operate out of. I've been doing that ad read for so long, I should just be able to not mess it up. But, you know how I be. Direct Service Overhead, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. They'll come take a look at your door today or tomorrow or whenever you need them out. They'll come out and they'll take a look at it for you. It's a free estimate. I shouldn't say today. Travis is in chat. I don't know about today. You know what I mean. They'll get out there pretty quick. They have better than best results, hundreds of 5-star reviews. 501-244-3667. That's the number to call. It's coming up this time of year, man. It's always a good time to think about getting your door checked up on, right? I'm glad I did it. And also the Odso Craft Bar and Pizzeria, located on Image Street in Springdale. Fantastic environment, great stuff. IPAs on tap, great pie. My favorite. They make the pizzas the way I like them, man. It's wonderful. I don't know that I've had a pizza there that I don't like yet. I'm going to try and get a little bit more exotic on their menu. I'm going to order something I wouldn't normally like, and I'm going to give it a shot. Again, that's the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. I've got both those sponsors, by the way, have their own pages within the Discord server. So if you want to go look at a menu, or you want to go look at some pictures of some jobs that Direct Service Overhead has done, or if you just want to look at some reviews, you can go there and check it out. Again, that's in our Tuss Talk with Ty Discord. Well, Discord's popping today, and I'm loving it. You guys are active. It's been pretty quiet because, I mean, what the hell is there to talk about outside of Eric Musselman rumors and basketball sucking eggs? There's just not much. Recruiting right now, it's that time of year. By the way, if you're a Patreon supporter and you're like, where's the updates? Recruiting right now, it's that time of year where it kind of slows down a little bit. It will get wild here in the coming months, especially getting into June and July too. June and July is where that's where you start to see a lot of the high school commits flow in. I think they had several over the last, well, since Pittman's been here. That's been a very heavy month because, you know, the OVs and whatnot. All right. Hey, what's up, Paul? What's going on? Sup, Josh French, hogging it up. So organized, Ty. I know, finally, right? I'm getting my shit together. Finally. Michael Kerper says, best day of the year. Pigpen, driving with Ty. Hey, man, be careful. But I appreciate you. Travis Ford, speaking of Travis, you're putting in the work with the AI, bro. I love it. You know what I did for that prompt, or for that AI on the thumbnail? I'm diving into the AI a little bit. Why not? Everyone else is doing it. I'm just trying it out. It's still kind of got my touch, you know, with that blank white screen behind it's, you know, I mean, it's just, it's art, okay? It's art that I didn't make. But I put in the prompt, Razorback Baseball. Wait, which thumbnail is this? Hang on. Because I had like 5. Yeah. Okay. That was Lord of the Rings, Sauron, and Razorback Baseball. And that's what the AI gave me. And it was badass. There's some other ones that were really cool, but that one it's just so awesome. He's got the armor on, you know, and you guys know I'm a big Lord of the Rings. I'm a big nerd. I could not. I did another one too. It was Razorback Baseball and Paladin, Holy Warrior, right? I did Razorback Baseball. What was the other one? Game of Thrones. That one was lame. Didn't turn out very good. But this one turned out really well. I'm happy with it, so I stuck with it. All right, let's get into it, baby. Let's go. We're starting off Razorback football recruiting. Arkansas send out. They have a couple of new offers. Cameron Powell out of McKinney, Texas, part of the 2025 class, 6'1", 185-pound wide receiver. He has offers according to 247. He's got about 17 offers. Arizona State, Arkansas State, Baylor, Boise State are some of them. No idea what is actually committable and what's not. Arkansas's is committable. I've heard that is a committable offer. That was confirmed to me by one person who I value pretty highly. He said that is a completely committable offer. Sent out by the new guy, Ronnie Fouch, the new wide receiver coach. He's all over this dude. He's unranked. Appreciate the retweet, Philip. Thank you. Appreciate that. I need to turn my phone on silent. But yeah, Arkansas hoping to add him. Again, he's about 6'1", 185 pounds. Don't know much beyond that. And again, sometimes, yeah, some people might just say it's a committable offer. This person seems to think it's a legit offer, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, that comes down to Coach Fouch, right, and Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman. But this is, without a doubt, this kid was sent an offer. Cameron Powell, again, out of McKinney, Texas. He is a part of the 2025 class. Right now, he is unranked. I believe he's unranked across the board, and that's okay. Sometimes these kids don't really come along until their junior season, and then even at a place like McKinney North High, you know, you're still a little bit under the radar. Sometimes it's you kind of get passed up because of the other receivers or other players, whatever the position on the roster, you know, or you're not camping at all. You know, you're really just being recruited based on your film. So whatever the case may be, I believe this is a pretty committable offer for Arkansas. I think they probably would likely take his commit, but then again, there's no way of really knowing. Jeremiah Alvis is the other one out of Helena, Alabama, part of the 2025 class. He's a 6'1", 182-pound corner. 6'1", 182 pounds going into his senior season. He is a 3-star on 247 Sports with an 88 overall grade. They have him as a top 50 corner and a top 25 player out of the state of Alabama. Again, that's his 247. Georgia Tech, Memphis, Mississippi State, and Duke, according to 247, have offered him. Don't have any confirmation on him, but this is someone being recruited by Scott Fountain. It's pretty obvious they don't mind attacking. We know they want to get into South Georgia. We know that Arkansas wants to dabble in that part of the country. They've had some success, whether it be Florida, Georgia, South Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Now you're starting to come a little bit more west, heading up to the Mississippi River. But, it's kind of flipped, but yet they do still, obviously, they dabble into Texas as well. And listen, they've recruited about as well as anybody here. Arkansas has never been a program that's top 15, top 20 recruiting every year. That's never really been a thing here. They've come close. They've knocked on the door, a lot. They knock on the door into being a top 25 class, regardless of the recruiting site, whether it be 247 or Rivals or, dare I say, ESPN, although no one really takes ESPN serious. It's kind of sad. ESPN recruiting it's taken as about as serious as like Sports Illustrated. Now, ESPN is still overall, it's a big, huge company. I get it. But so was Sports Illustrated once upon a time ago. I'm just saying there's something about Disney. I don't know. Now, SI is not a part of Disney, but they managed to kill themselves. Or I probably shouldn't say that. And I wonder why YouTube doesn't push my content to outsiders. I wonder. Maybe I got to watch my verbiage. But yeah, I don't take ESPN recruiting very seriously, but sometimes they give you little it's the local guys that you pay attention to, right? But again, that's Jeremiah Alvis, both these kids, and he's out of Helena, Alabama, and of course Cameron Powell, who's out of Texas. Both these kids were offered, one by new wide receiver coach Ronnie Fouts, the other by Scott Fountain. You guys ask, like, Ty, you backed off on wanting a change with special teams coach. Scott Fountain is a great recruiter, and there's no doubt. I think that really is his job. Like, if he had to put one thing in front of the other, he is. I would say recruiter first, special teams probably about third on his list. I'm kidding, but I feel like I'm not, but I am. Obviously he works with he works as hard as anybody. I've seen it in person at doing what he does. It's so strange that special teams for 4 years has been, I don't know. I will say 23 was an improvement though. So maybe they'll continue that. I don't know. Now you don't have Little, Arkansas. This is from Richard Davenport. Where'd it go? Consensus 4-star junior defender plans to officially visit Arkansas football. Again, this was by Richard Davenport over on Whole Hog Sports, Hogs Illustrated. You guys make sure you go over there. Richard's a good guy. Like him a lot. But he starts this off with major Arkansas 4-star defensive target. Said he plans to make an official visit to Arkansas this summer. Linebacker Jacoby Hobson, 6'1", 205 pounds, of Lake Cormorant, Mississippi, visited the Razorbacks on January 27th for Arkansas for Junior Day. He also visited Fayetteville in January 2023. Hobson announced his top 8 schools Tuesday, which includes Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Miami, Auburn, and A&M. It's important to get him back on campus. Take a shot at him. I think Ole Miss right now is in the lead for him. He's being recruited by defensive coordinator Travis Williams and co-defensive coordinator Marcus Woodson. A consensus 4-star prospect, ESPN rates the junior as the number 16 outside linebacker and overall the number 119 overall prospect for the 2025 class. Hobson, who's being recruited to play will linebacker at Arkansas, recorded 71 tackles 71 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 QB hurry, and 1 pass breakup as a junior. He also completed 11 of 22 passes for 150 yards and 4 touchdowns and rushed 146 times for 785 yards and 8 touchdowns. Watched a little bit of his highlight reel. He's it's what you would expect, out of a a typical huddle highlight film, but looks pretty explosive. Little surprised that they're going. I mean, he's got a frame that can add on some weight, but 6'1", 205. I kind of thought maybe they would try him out at safety, but they're offering him at linebacker at 6'1", 205. You like the 6'1" part. You can always tack on a little bit of weight, and he certainly looks like he's got a frame that could carry 15, 20 more pounds. And I'm sure once you get him on campus, assuming he's here for spring ball, if he were to commit and sign with Arkansas, you give him plenty of time to tack on some weight. But he's a big-time prospect. That's a consensus 4-star. Again, his name, Jacoby Hobson. All right, there you go. Let me get caught up on chat here. What I'm hearing, Ty, is AI just the tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels. I really need to proofread. All right. Hit the like. It helps this channel. Absolutely, it does. Especially, with the fact that I'm no longer really on a set schedule other than, well, no, I'm not even live on Mondays. Here lately it's been on Tuesday, so I do appreciate you guys. Good morning, Ty. What's up, Unbiased? I see you retweeting on Twitter. I see you, bro. Thank you. Michael Kerper says Helena, Alabama is pronounced Helena. Oh, is it? Helena. Is that just like an Alabama thing? Is that, because it looks like it's Helena. Lena. I think he's just being funny. Josh Friend says you're definitely getting demonetized now. Bro, they have. I've had a couple videos that lost monetization. I'm sure this one will too. Brady Lewis's basketball has always been my favorite sport. I never thought I would get so nonchalant about Arkansas basketball for the second half of the season. I think a lot of people have been that way probably since the Auburn blowout, maybe the Oklahoma game. I don't know. That's the Alabama accent, 100% serious. Wow. Wow. ESPN croaked with the late great Stuart Scott. Oh man, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Stuart Scott was my guy. He was the only reason why I watched ESPN. Well, back then, the early 2000s, late 90s, that was like peak ESPN. Since Disney and everything, it's just, I'm not going to get into it. Like the other night in that post-game call-in, we had Pat call in, and I agreed partly with what he was saying. And I listen, but I got to watch myself. Folks are soft. Folks are soft. Thicken up your skin. Put some sunblock. Double up on the sunblock. Anytime I'm on, I bet it's demonetized for sure. Oh, well, yeah, Travis. Yeah, I don't know how don't read the comments won't ever be monetized, Travis. Yeah, ESPN was good when I was a little boy. Yeah, early 2000s, late 90s was it, man. All right, Arkansas is bad. Arkansas basketball is worse than you think. This was a graphic that I don't know where I found this at. I think it was actually in our Discord. Razorback basketball isn't just losing games. They're getting tombstone pile drived. Pile driven. Pile drived. This is their losing. This is how badly things are. And I know you guys know. I know you know. But listen to these numbers. Against Auburn, to start off the SEC for Arkansas, start off their conference play. They lose that one. We know all about that. They beat you so bad inside Bud Walton Arena, they broke a record. 32-point loss for Arkansas in that game at home. On the road at Georgia, they lost by 10, which is actually surprising considering at that time Georgia was playing a little bit better ball than most had anticipated. I kind of thought Georgia – I was a little surprised Arkansas didn't lose by about 15 or more. But so that's 42 points right out the gate right there. And then they go on the road against Florida. They lose by 22. They do manage to beat A&M at home. And then they fumble bad against South Carolina. Again, that's another one that could have been worse. They only lost that one by, I say only, they lost by 13. At Ole Miss, they lose by 26. Against Kentucky, just by 6. Some of these are a little bit surprising. Like, yeah. They go on the road. They clobber Mizzou for most of that game, and we're all thinking, like, okay, we know Mizzou's bad, but can they build off this? They don't. They go on the road. They lose to LSU by 21. And then they beat Georgia at home, so you avoid a sweep. There's one thing that can be said about Muss. He can be difficult to sweep. And then you lose by 29 to Tennessee. Now, my math sucks. I'm no mathematician, as many of you are very well aware of. But that's a grand total of losing by 159 points in the last 8 losses. What is that, like 19 points a game on losses? That is atrocious. I'm not sure that math checks out, but it's a lot. That is a lot. 159 points in 8 losses. I don't think that has ever happened, ever in Razorback basketball history. We know the 32 by Auburn, the clobbering they got by the Tigers, that's never happened before. To lose their first 3 games as horribly as they did in SEC play, minus 32, minus 10, minus 22, that's probably never happened. It's insane how bad things have gotten. I every time we bring up Arkansas basketball or how bad things are or whatever, we always then kind of slide into, well, Eric Musselman's gone. He's leaving. It does seem like every day it feels like it's more and more likely. I got a screenshot sent to me. The Louisville message boards are now going nuts. They think it's a done deal. And you know, I only bring that up because you guys will DM me that stuff, and it is an everyday topic in either Patreon or main chat or DMs, group chats that I'm in. I may not get as many DMs these days, but that is certainly something that's been discussed on and on and on again. Again, I do not understand the Louisville hire. If that were to be the case, and I want to say this, I would be shocked if he left for Louisville because I think presently Arkansas is the better job. The only thing I think that could really be the driver behind this, and by the way, I still think if we don't start hearing about, you know, if there's no smoke around extensions or an extension for Musselman's contract by the end of this month, I'm going to be really concerned, and then that may give weight to the Louisville rumors. The only thing, again, that I think that could be behind this is that maybe he doesn't feel like the university's 100% behind him on the NIL. You know, they're having to share that. It's like a big bowl of money, right? In each football, basketball, baseball, you got to give, you know, the women's. I'm sure they're getting a piece of that. I don't know how much they're getting, but I'm sure they're getting a little bit. You know, and maybe Musselman feels like there's not enough dedication here. I would argue, you know, with Louisville's recent success, I don't know that it's going to be any different at Louisville. I don't know that it's going to be different anywhere. Because in the SEC, and this might actually be somewhat of a disadvantage, in the SEC, football reigns supreme. Whether you're good or bad at it, it doesn't matter. It reigns supreme financially. It draws in the most money. And basketball, now with it trending down as badly as it is, maybe there's not as much of a want to put into basketball. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that too based on what they did last year. What they did last year in the class that they brought in this year. Yeah, they suck. They suck as a team, but my gosh, I mean, this was an incredible, individually, talent-wise, this was an incredible year out of the portal. So that's another reason why I don't know that I'm buying that. Now, you did whiff on some guys, but hell, who hasn't? Who doesn't? Alabama, Nate Oates, who's been consistently good over there, and you know, the belief is this is a Final Four team for them. That 3-and-D is paying off. And they're killing it. You know, and obviously they've got football too, right? I mean, now they might have a little bit more NIL. I have no idea. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have more outside financial support. Arkansas gets overlooked until you bring up Walmart. Now there's this whole belief that Walmart may have actually been behind the donation, that massive donation to Mizzou earlier in the month. that was reported. I don't remember how much. It was a ton of money, like $40 or $50 million or whatever. I think it was a program record for Mizzou. People forget, Arkansas still has some pretty wealthy connections, and I do think they still have, it may not always be the big name, the Waltons or the Hunts, and we know the Hunts are major contributors to the university. But there's also people in high places that work within these vendors in Northwest Arkansas that make a lot of money that give to the university. Maybe they're alumni here or whatever. You got higher seniority folks that work within Walmart, maybe not directly from the vendors, but work through Walmart or Sam's Club. You do have the Tysons, of course. You've got the executives there that probably, if they're not alumni here, maybe they also give just because they live in the area. I don't know, but it's a lot more than just the big names that give to the university. But it is the big names that typically give the most, right? I mean, you've got Jerry Jones, who gave you a whole nutritional center. That building, I still haven't been inside it, but I'd love to go inside, check it out. It's a gorgeous building from the outside. It's right across the practice facilities or the outdoor football field, the where they practice outside. I know we suck, but pay the man, says Razorback Rock. Yeah. This is a down year across the board. I mean, football is always mediocre, but basketball should never, ever be this bad. It's just a fluke year. I think so, too. I don't think it's a trend, but you could argue that conference play has been a trend. I mean, they did finish below 500 last year, and now they're obviously going to finish below 500. So I hope it's not a trend in conference play, but it certainly is with how bad things have gotten. I agree. I agree with that one, Nick. We won't have another season like this under Musselman, says Philip White. Never say never, but I have a hard time seeing it. I agree. Can we just black out the rest of the basketball season? No live games at all. This is the top 5 worst season in Hog basketball history, says Josh French. Richard Neal. I'm not a Hog fan, but it would be stupid to get rid of Muss. My 2 cents. No, you're completely right. It is crazy to me that people just want him gone. And we have a guy in our Discord, Smelliot. I don't know if he's here. Smelliot said he could care less if Musselman came back or not. That's got to be someone who's under the age of 25 with a take like that. You've got to be under the age of 25 if you just believe everything's going to be hunky-dory. Celtics for Life is another one in Discord who I think just feels like we're going to go out and hire whoever we want. Maybe. I mean, the name Beard is brought up all the time. I don't know that – I think Ole Miss got him for a pretty decent deal, all things considered, right? After that debacle at Texas and him getting fired before the halfway point in the season. And Ole Miss got a pretty good deal on him. I think Beard just wanted to get back into coaching and would at the time was happy with Ole Miss. Could I see him leaving Ole Miss after a year? I don't know all the details of his contract and what his buyout looks like, but I have a really hard time seeing him be there long term. Maybe they could bring Beard here. I mean, Arkansas, I think history does still matter to these coaches. They want to know that program has touched a certain level of success in whether it be regular season or postseason. Obviously, those banners, they hang up certain banners inside Bud Walton Arena, not just making the tournament, but how far they've gone and that national championship they won, in the 90s, in the back-to-back Final Fours. So it can be done here, and I do think there is support NIL for basketball. But I guess, I don't know, maybe things have changed. But, I mean, I don't know. The grass isn't always greener. I mean, we should know this, right? Stan Heath, we've gone over this. Stan Heath did not live up to what we thought we'd get out of him. Pelfrey was, outside of his first year, it was just ugly. And then Mike Anderson, the king of, mediocrity here. I mean, he should have been so much better. We thought we were going to get a better version of what he did at Mizzou, and it didn't happen. So the grass isn't always greener, fellas. And I can tell you, when Mike was hired here, I remember how that felt. I'm not going to say it was quite when Bobby Petrino was hired, but it was, oh my God, Arkansas basketball is back. And then it was excuse after excuse for the first couple of years, building his team and building the kind of depth that he needed. And back then, that was certainly true. I mean, back then, that was a different time. You didn't have the portal. But grass isn't always greener. And I'm going to tell you, I will not be happy if Muss does leave. But you know what? Whatever. Right now, that's just all rumors and smoke, even though there's a lot of it. We're just going to we'll have to see how this all plays out. I'm hoping they give him an extension, and I think he'll go into the portal and he'll go back to his old ways and how he approaches players out of the portal. I think he'll change up. You know, he won't do he went so completely out in left field with what he did. We all thought it was great because he went out and he grabbed guards that could score. But they left defense behind apparently. I mean, it was really bad. And then of course the chemistry just wasn't there either. Don't forget the 2016 baseball season. One bad season is okay. There you go. KC Boss says, I'm a Mizzou fan, but really enjoy your stuff. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Very informative and objective. I did hear it was not Walmart money that made the big donation. That was a big deal. For you guys to get that, that was incredible. And I hope, I mean, I'm sure a lot of that's going to go to football, as it should. I mean, you guys are, I hate to admit it, and I'll just put it out there. They're football. I mean, Drinkwitz has got it down. I mean, this year was incredible for them. We still hate you, by the way. But no, congratulations. You had a great year. You absolutely spanked that Arkansas ass, that's for sure. Hopefully that was a wake-up call for Razorback football, right? But I hope you guys put some of that into baseball. I really do, because that's this conference's best sport, without a doubt, in my opinion. As far as men's sports, baseball, the SEC is king of college baseball. I would love to see Mizzou kind of get that going, because if this is really going to be a rivalry, then it needs to be addressed in all three sports, right? Obviously, basketball's been pretty bad for you guys too. Both teams just not real thrilled about what's going down this year. Obviously, Arkansas had super high expectations. But I really hope you guys put something into baseball. I would like to see, if this rivalry is going to mean a damn thing, then let's have a good back and forth, right? I think Arkansas and Mizzou have played in 4 series since Mizzou's joined, and Arkansas's 3-1 in those series. Like, they've won 3 of the 4 series versus Mizzou, and I think did they sweep them in 2 or in 1? I don't know. But I want that rivalry to mean something if this is really what we're going to do, even though I stand on this is the most fabricated SEC front office driven rivalry I've ever seen. But let's make it mean something, right? Because right now I feel like with what's going on at Tennessee, that to me feels like a real organic rivalry. They have something in all 3 sports. They don't like each other. They hate each other. Of course, you go back to the Sterner fumble in the late 90s against Tennessee when Arkansas had that game won. And we know what went on to happen for Tennessee, and Arkansas I don't know that they ever looked the same after that. But in terms of that season, what happened, the team just never really got up back on the horse. But I would like to see Mizzou be competitive. And again, I'm sure we'd both like to see our teams be better in basketball, but that ain't happening. Our baseball at Mizzou is an embarrassment despite having a decent history. Yeah, you do have a decent history. And that's why I would love to see them be more competitive in this league in baseball. It sucks for you guys because once baseball comes around, it's like, nobody really cares. Here, it's like it's a state holiday, you know. But to be fair, and I know Missouri has the best Major League Baseball organization in all sports, I'm just saying I might or might not be a big Cardinals fan, but it is a big sport in Missouri. I know that. But in terms of college athletics, it's just not a big thing there. I think it is at Missouri State. So yeah, I want to see them be more competitive. I know we swept them in 2019 because I was there, and Kerstad walked them off. Okay, yeah, I knew they swept them at least one. What's up, Chris Meadows? How you doing, man? Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Check out the links provided for you down below. If you want to join Patreon, that would be awesome. That would be pretty great. Okay, hold up. I had my... Well, hold on. I had my next. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh no, I lost my. Oh no. My D1 baseball screen froze. All right, here we go. I think we got it up here. I really hate this. I have to scroll all the way back down. I had the next part pulled up and the screen froze. All right, this is from Kendall Rogers. Moving on to our next piece here. He's got Arkansas winning the national title. National champion, Razorback Baseball. This is Kendall Rogers. All right, this is Mr. College Baseball. Works at D1 Baseball. If he talks SEC baseball, I'm going to listen. I mean, he is one of the most well-recognized college baseball voices, faces, whatever, that exists, and this guy likes Arkansas to win the Natty. Is it the kiss of death? I don't know. You guys could be you can weigh in on all that. I think it at least shows the amount of respect this program has. He has his non-top 25 sleeper as OU, non-field of 64 sleeper Mississippi State. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a subscriber to D1 Baseball, so I can't read all their articles. But, again, Kendall Rogers, he does great work. Kendall's the man. But, again, Kendall Rogers has picked Arkansas to win the Natty. There you go. Whopper, na 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 na, BK, have it your way. Michael Kerper says Kendall is hella reliable. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Let's get into it, boys and girls. Let's talk some hog baseball. It's that time of year. Megan says she's gonna be thinking about McDonald's all day. It is always stuck in my head. It's that time of year, baby. Razorback Baseball is here to save the day for Razorback fans. Hopefully, right? This day and age, I really want to watch what I say because I picked football to win 8+ this year. I think it was 9. It was my pick. And then I said basketball was a Final Four caliber team. I got to be careful, but yeah. Just a heads up, the field of 64, now getting into the postseason a little bit here for just a second, talking postseason. This is from NCAA.com. The field of 64 teams, this is the postseason NCAA tournament stuff. The field of 64 teams that will compete for the 2024 NCAA College Baseball Championship will be announced at 12 p.m. Eastern on Monday, May 27th on ESPN2. Just bookmark it. That's all. Maybe if you've got a sheet of paper and a pencil, right? Or if you're on your phone, or I'll just copy and paste this and put it somewhere in Discord. The 2024 NCAA Division I baseball tournament schedule, the selection show, May 27th. Again, that's on ESPN2. That'll be 11 a.m. our time on ESPN2. The regionals would start on May 31st through June 3rd. Super regionals would be Friday through Sunday, so June 7th through the 9th, and then Saturday through Monday, June 8th to June 10th. First day of the College World Series would start June 14th, which would be a Friday, and then the finals would be June 22nd through, looks like about the 24th. So there you go. I will copy and paste this and send it over to Discord. Let me do that right now here really quick, just in case you guys are like, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? There it is. I posted it in our Discord, so if you go take a look at that. So, again, that's last year we had folks asking this. I had people asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know. So I looked it up this time. 2023 was pretty exciting for Arkansas baseball. They finished 20-10, 31-5 home record, 43-18 overall record. Finished ahead of LSU in the SEC West, 19-10. Auburn went 17-13. Alabama 16-14. A&M a surprising 14-16. How about the Mississippi schools? Both of them just underwhelming. 9-21 for Mississippi State, and again that's conference play. And then 6-24 for Ole Miss. Both of them finished below 30 total wins on the year. I don't know what happened. Where's Neil at? Where's he at? Is he still in chat? What happened to Ole Miss and Mississippi State, man? What's going on over there? You guys finally do it, and then the last couple of years have just not been kind. It's just strange. Strange year. In the SEC East, Florida 54-17 overall, 20-10. They tied Arkansas. Vanderbilt 19-11, which was also a little bit surprising, but they did go on to finish with at least 42 dubs, just one total win behind Arkansas. South Carolina was also a little bit surprising in conference play last year, 16-13. And Tennessee, the most surprising in SEC play in a bad way, 16-14 with an overall record, however, of 44-22. Kentucky, Georgia, and Missouri finished in order behind the rest of those schools. A lot of people think Alabama might be better than we think. They might be better. I think their pitching, if I remember right, last year was really, really good, and I think they feel like they're going to be able to build off of, for them, 43 wins in a season, that's pretty special over there, but they did only finish 16-14 in conference play. Again, Arkansas, 43-18 overall, 20-10 conference record. Last year, they started right off in the college baseball showdown down in Arlington. They played Texas, TCU, and Oklahoma State. They beat Texas, and then they got smoked against their kryptonite, TCU. We should know all about TCU last year. They knocked Arkansas out of the regional, and they beat the hell out of them here, too. I think they won – I think of their two of the three, they won by double digits, and their other one they only won by – or only beat Arkansas by 8. Which, again, when all things considered, I kind of thought TCU was going to be the team to beat. And Arkansas did beat on February 19th. They clobbered Oklahoma State 18-1. 18-1. And at the time, Oklahoma State was number 9 in the country. So it just kind of goes to show you, too, like we're seeing these teams get smoked in basketball. We're seeing some crazy scores. Like what Auburn did the other night at home. Who was that? South Carolina. They beat by 40 points or whatever. You're seeing that also in baseball a little bit more frequently, it feels like, the last couple of years. Arkansas baseball hyped up again. Dave Van Horn enters his 22nd season as the head coach at the University of Arkansas. The best thing going on right now on campus for the men's team anyways. Arkansas made its way to a 6th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance last year. Finished first in regular season standings in the daunting SEC Conference. The Hogs belted 92 home runs during the historic campaign, tying 4th most in single-season program history last year. There's so many good things to talk about with this team, especially in the bullpen, especially with the starting pitching too. Ought to see if you get Kendall on the show. I've never actually reached out to him, but he's this time of year. I know he's swamped. It would be cool to get him on here. So beautiful seeing old Twinkle Toes. I forgot all about that. He called him Twinkle Toes. Oh, no. That's right. Camo Gang says we can give up 3 to 5 baseball. We can give up 3 to 5 baseball runs just like 20-point blowout leads. Oh, okay. Let's talk about pitching here really quick. Now, we're going to get into JMU and what Arkansas – we know what they're going to do as far as pitching here, but, it's going to be similar in terms of in order. Obviously, Hagen Smith is the guy this year. I think we can all agree Hagen Smith is expected – I want to say that – expected to have an incredible year. He's throwing in the hundreds now. He's throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And, oh, by the way, he's a lefty. For those of you who don't know, that's a big deal. He was, and this was in 2023, he was the Collegiate Baseball All-American first team, Collegiate Baseball Foundation All-American second team, D1 Baseball All-American second team, Perfect Game, which is a pretty good recruiting site for baseball, Perfect Game All-American second team, Baseball America, he made their All-American third team. He was a Golden Spikes Awards semifinalist, which is a big deal. Or at least that award is in baseball. College Baseball Foundation National Pitcher of the Year Award semifinalist, and he was all SEC first team, all SEC defensive team. He had a 3.64 ERA, struck out 109 batters, pitching 71 innings. He's big time. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. He is expected to be the starter tonight, and I think he's going to be the starter. I say tonight here in like 3 hours. Brady Tigert, the next guy up. Tigert is really talented. And there are some folks, Arkansas media mostly, who felt like this dude's his ceiling might be as high or higher than Smith's. Now, he's a right-handed pitcher. He's a righty. He made 10 appearances, including 6 starts on the mound in 2023. Finished his sophomore season with a 3-1 record with a 3.20 ERA, 31 strikeouts, and 25.1 innings. Also logged a save, allowed just 11 runs, 9 earned, and issued only 8 walks all season. Brady Tygart could be something special. Now, again, I always want to say could be, expected, simply because of what we've witnessed the last couple of years. With football, especially the last couple of years. But, with Dave Van Horn, you feel a little bit more confident that these things are going to happen. But, yeah, Hagen Smith, Brady Tygart, imagine that. That's your day one, your Friday night ace in Hagen Smith, and then you turn to an elite, possibly elite right-handed pitcher with a really high ceiling in Brady Tygart. Now, day 3 is where things are going to get interesting. Mason Molina right now, the left-handed transfer from Texas Tech. Last year he was all Big 12 second team, the ABCA all-region second team, Gainesville all-regional team. He started 16 games on the mound, finished with a 6-2 record with a 3.67 ERA, over a team-high 83.1 innings, racked up a team-leading 108 strikeouts to go with 35 walks on the year. Mason Molina is a very fascinating day 3 guy if he keeps that job. Someone was trying to convince me he could swap out with Tygart for day 2. They think he's got that level of potential. You never know. We know Dave's going to experiment, and you'll see some of that. In fact, you're going to see that in Game 4 against James Madison. They're going with someone several people didn't think they would go with to be your starting pitcher for that Game 4. Looking at some closers, you got Gage Wood. Again, we could go on and on about the bullpen. I mean, it is so deep. They do have Gage Wood, who's going to probably either be a closer again, or he's going to be maybe short-term middle relief pitcher. He was a freshman All-SEC last year. First year SEC academic honor roll, by the way. Congrats to Gage Wood on that. Closer is a true freshman, appeared in 23 games on the mound, going 2-0 with a 4.80 ERA, 42 strikeouts, and 5 saves. I think all those saves, if I remember right, were in SEC play in 30 innings. You also got Will McIntyre, who's another right-handed pitcher. Made 21 appearances with 10 starts on the mound. Posted an 8-3 record with a 5.07 ERA, 2 saves, and a team-leading 87 innings. Struck out 83 batters on the year. Second most behind Hagen Smith, who had 109. Through 1 complete game, the first by a Razorback pitcher since 2016. Will McIntyre has the juice. When he brings it, Will McIntyre could be the it guy. We have seen guys like this before who maybe quietly had a fantastic year the year before, and then they come out with some high expectations, and they don't quite live up to them. Will McIntyre, though, I could be the guy. Now, he might be more long middle relief and end up being a closer again. I know you always kind of flirt with your middle relief and your closers, and it feels like the last couple of years we knew who our closers were, and now it looks like they could have 2 or 3 options for solid closers. You're going to have a lot of guys pitch closing, but Will McIntyre and Gage Wood could certainly, and we don't know how this pans out. Again, with the bullpen this deep, God only knows what Dave does. He's going to experiment, maybe finds a different role for these two, but Will McIntyre likely going to be a closer. Someone's talking about defense. Camo Gang says defensively we're top tier. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. DVH will lose an ace. Wait, hopefully not what? Almost every year, and the bats will disappear, turn frozen when it matters. This is preparation. Well, I mean, we've seen them lose some games they have no business losing, but it's sometimes it's the midweek. Rarely do they lose those games in SEC play that they're expected to win. Rarely does that happen, but I mean, you're not wrong. The bats I thought last year should have been better. Now, they had some injuries. They had to kind of adjust their lineup a little bit. But we've also got a couple of transfers that obviously need to be discussed. Hudson White at catcher, another transfer from Texas Tech. This dude was batting a .294 average, 11 homers, 49 RBIs last year. Hudson White, Arkansas may finally have a well-balanced catcher who can frame up pitches really well, be a fantastic defensive player, and actually back it up at the plate. It'd be terrific. Now, I don't know. It's always difficult whether it's Big 12, ACC, Big 10, and then you got to come into the SEC. It's a whole nother story. And it's why it's so rare you see freshmen come in and just dominate at any given position, whether that's on the mound, behind the plate, as a hitter, as an infielder, whatever. Like, you could be great, elite, all-American, should have gone pro, should be in the minor leagues right now. There's a reason why that's rare, because the SEC, it's not super rare because there's always some outstanding freshmen, and there's going to be this year for sure. But there's a reason for that, unlike basketball. Again, apples and oranges. The sports are completely different, I know, but just trying to give you a measurement there. But Hudson White, again, the same for high school freshmen or college freshmen. The same can be said of transfers. We've seen that again, even here with transfers who came in with supposedly had these big bats, and then they vanished. And then they just vanished. Happens all the time. I hope that doesn't happen with Hudson White. I like what I see out of him. I like what I've read on him. Could be a fantastic catcher for Arkansas. And then there's Ty Wilsmeyer. Speaking of Mizzou, he's a transfer from Mizzou. Some folks were telling me he was probably the better player on that roster. He did bat with a .311 average, 7 home runs in 2023. So they could have some power in this lineup. Now, they hit a lot of homers last year. Arkansas hit a ton of homers last season. They ended up hitting 92 home runs last year. That's incredible. And yet still kind of struggled offensively at times. So, yeah, I do believe that I hope hitting is I hope it's consistent, and I hope we don't see another scenario in big games where the bats just go cold. It happens a lot. It does. It's not exclusive to Arkansas. There's some teams that hit really well that do the same thing. I had some more notes here, and I can't find the rest of my notes. Where are my notes? Let me scroll down here. Hang on. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We know Stovall, by the way. You guys know Stovall's out. He was expected to be the leadoff hitter for the Razorbacks against James Madison. Van Horn said he expects everyone to just move up one spot in the lineup. So I think that means we're going to see Hudson White right out the gate. So that'll be good. Yep. Dave Van Horn coming into his 22nd season. Matt Hobbs, pitching coach, coming into his 6th year already. That flew by. Felt like this was like year 4. Nate Thompson, hitting coach, coming into his 7th year. That one's also flown by. We know Diggs is back. They should have some meat in that lineup, and I feel better. I feel better about this team 1 through 9 than I did a year ago from a hitter's perspective, from a team that can hit. I hope they're a better hitting club, but if they are, I think that was kind of what held them back last year from advancing. Talking about James Madison here really quick. This is the starting. This is what we're going to look at. We've already kind of touched on all these guys. Left-hander Hagen Smith, he's going to get the start. No surprise there. Brady Tigert, right-handed pitcher on game 2. Lefty Mason Molina is going to get day 3. And then Colin Fisher, true freshman, is going to pitch on Monday. That'll be at noon is when that game starts. Colin Fisher, freshman, think he came out of Oklahoma. Apparently pretty solid get, and he's going to come in and get an opportunity. We're just talking about freshmen coming in and making a splash. How cool would that be? And that's, in my opinion, I love that move. I like putting a youngster day 4. Who cares if you've already won? If you've got 3 games under your belt, you can kind of use that game as a heavy experimental. They're going to experiment probably mostly through. I would assume day 3, day 4, they're going to experiment a little bit, whether that be the lineup, who they have out in outfield, and the pitching rotation. But Colin Fisher is going to get the start for Arkansas on day 4. So, yeah, pretty exciting. I am so excited that it's that time of year. We know 2023 didn't go the way we thought. Of course, TCU, who 3-0'd Arkansas in the year. They did it earlier in the year, and then they eliminated you in the tournament Again, they've got Kendall Diggs, who Kendall Diggs enjoyed a breakout sophomore season, earned second-team All-SEC recognition on the strength of a 299 batting average, 63 RBIs, 12 homers. Diggs is back. That's a big deal. Their depth at catcher is crazy. Like, you kind of felt like they've had one or two guys. Now it's like they've got three or four guys, and you feel somewhat comfortable, at least at the moment, based on, again, what I've been told, what we've read, what's out there, what folks are saying on their podcast. Like, the depth at catcher feels as good as it's ever been. So, 3 p.m., James Madison, or 2 p.m., 2 p.m. They moved it up. It was 3, now it's 2. And then I think tomorrow, you know what, I better look at. Yeah, tomorrow will be 2 p.m. Sunday will be 1 p.m., and then Monday will be at noon. So that'll be their 4-game. That'll be their what they're doing. Looking at James Madison a year ago, there's some things here about them that are pretty special. Their on-base percentage, the exact same as Arkansas's, .857. Runs per game, they're just behind Arkansas at 7.45. They had a little bit different here. They weren't a super-duper, like they didn't have 3 or 4 guys in their lineup that could just jack up home runs. They had one guy who could. But they ended up with just 51 home runs, 84 stolen bases. ERA is a team at 6.32. Opponent batting average, 287. Field percentage, 972. Arkansas, who had an elite fielding percentage last year at 981. But they bat almost 300. I mean, they can hit the ball. So we'll get a glimpse of that. One of those guys that kind of stood out for them last year. Now, JMU, again, top 50 hitting club from a year ago. 2023 was the first year for them in the Sun Belt. They're predicted to finish last. They ended up finishing 7th with a 31-25 overall record. They were, picked to finish dead last. I'm going off script here. James Madison head coach Marlon, I think that's Inkenberry. I think that's Marlon Inkenberry. That's a badass baseball name. I'm just going to say that. That is a total baseball name. He's entering his 9th season with the program and has compiled 184 and 184 overall record. Outfielder Fenwick Trimble, another awesome baseball name. Fenwick Trimble comes up to the plate. He is JMU's workhorse at the plate. In 2023, he hit .342, led the team in home runs with 13, and he had 52 RBIs. So keep an eye on Fenwick Trimble. They have a couple of guys that are pretty good hitters, but he was their workhorse from last season, someone to keep an eye on. I know why those two caught your eye. One named Ty and the other named Hudson. You ain't wrong. 92, fourth most in history, or fourth most in school history. Yep, that's right. That's right. It pretty not bad. If you're in the chat and appreciate the content, hit the like button. It helps the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Talking beer. All right. Well, we're up on the hour. Look at that, right at 59 minutes. I do appreciate you guys. I don't anticipate doing a post game, and maybe I feel compelled. I'm smoking a cigar. I got some whiskey. I've got it flowing through my veins, and I'm feeling it. I might go live. I might do a post game. I've done one post game for baseball, and it, hopefully more of you now with it being here and people so desperate for a good product on the field. Maybe people will be excited and want to listen to it. Or I'll just do a Monday show, probably do one in the evening, seeing as how they play earlier in the day, and we'll kind of cover both the post game for that game and cover all the games. Or I could do both. I could do a post game tonight and then do one on Monday. I didn't even touch on Arkansas basketball and what they're doing this weekend. That tells you everything you need to know right there, right? Like, we have just – no one cares outside of talking about their losing. No one really cares. It kind of sucks, but Arkansas does go on the road tomorrow against Mississippi State. I don't know what to tell you. Mississippi State at home, they're favored. It's 90% right now, according to the matchup predictor. I mean, I'm going to have to put it in the predictions in Discord. I'm not going to lie. I completely was so moved on to baseball, and I've got even more baseball notes I haven't even talked about, but I might save that for tonight or Monday, but or I'll just trash them and forget about them. But basketball's become an afterthought. So disappointing. Mississippi State, 16-8. They're not much better in conference play, 5-6, but they're going to be tough on the road. I would probably feel a lot better if this game was at home. Give me Mississippi State in this one. Again, it's at 1 p.m. So in Starkville, it's going to be on ESPNU, and this is coming from ESPN. Give me Mississippi State in that one. So maybe Arkansas can surprise them. I just don't know. I roll the dice. Where's the dice at? Get Eric Musselman's transfer dice. Where are they at? They're around here somewhere. He rolled the dice and he lost on all those rolls, didn't he? For you Dungeons and Dragons nerds. You nerds. He got that dice, that D&D dice, and it didn't work out. So, I'm a nerd. Don't feel bad. I'm a nerd too. If they win, they win, says Kelly Williams. There you have it. If they win, they win. That's really about all we got on that. Didn't really even – I made no notes for this game at all. I'm not kidding. I made no notes. All I did was put it in print, Arkansas at Mississippi State. That's all I have. I just it's just gotten so horrible. But Mississippi State, again, they're coming off a couple wins. They beat Georgia 75-62. They went on the road and they clobbered, like everybody has. They clobbered Mizzou 75-51, and now they're coming home looking to win 3 straight. So yeah, they are 5-6. They are in the bottom half of the SEC in wins and losses in conference play, but it's Arkansas. What does it matter? They could be other than Missouri or Vanderbilt. They're not that level of bad, but they're not playing. They're playing probably about where I thought they would. I didn't think much of Mississippi State this year. So, all right, smell it. There he is. Goodbye, Muss. We will miss you, my friend. There he is. Grass is always greener. Smell it. I guess. All right, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you either tonight, later today, or I'll see you tomorrow. I will do a post game for basketball. We are doing post game for basketball, so we can all vent our frustrations. I'll see you guys either tonight or tomorrow. If I don't see you at all, enjoy the rest of your weekend. So yeah, that's it. Woo pig.